Hello TNL players, my name is Red Camper with 1.7k hours on the game, playing since early access, and I'd like to share with you all what I think of TNL. But first off, who am I? I'm an SNS GS main. I've been in guilds like Reassembled with Blue Squadron, Ethereum, Sinister, Take Care, and now comfortably in Enum. I've been playing MMORPGs for around 4 years now, which is apparently super young, starting first off with Lost Ark, then BDO, and now riding the TNL train. Now let's first start off with the beginning of TNL, all the way back in September of 2024, which was just 5 months ago. I was watching TNL and I was watching Blue Squadron stream. We were all trying to load into the game, trying to figure out how to get in, and the hype was real. Spawning into a new MMORPG, it's like discovering a new world where everything's new, you don't know what's going on, and everyone's just trying to figure out where they want to be, where they want to go, and what kind of route they want to take. Now the leveling system from 1 to 50 is all about the storyline. You're learning about the story characters, you're learning about all these different towns, discovering new areas, unlocking waypoints, just like how any MMO is going to start. My first goal was trying to get to the level where I can join a guild because guilds in this game are essential, and during that first period, if you wanted to really experience everything this game has to offer, you need to be in a top guild. My experience with the first level 1 to 50 grind was all about rushing the main story as fast as I can and doing side quests that would allow me to get to the next level cap. But that was only for my first character. I have 2 other characters and actually went through the story with one of them, but for that first day of TNL coming out, I just booked it. And as I finally reached that level 50 capped, then the real grind started. That's when we're opened up to dungeons, events, contracts, tokens, and the beginning of PvP. And while that may seem like a lot, people back then constantly complained about not having enough things to do, which at the time, yes, but we also didn't have more dungeons, we didn't have arc bosses, we didn't have a lot of things, and we're continuing to get more things that they actually had to reduce the amount of things that we had to do so that people weren't just gonna burn out. So, what did the typical week of TNL look like? For me, I had to make a schedule because doing dungeons, contracts, token and keys, the events I needed to participate in, the PvP I need to attend to for my guild would have burnt me out so fast, I probably wouldn't have even made it to November. So, I made this schedule. I'd be able to burn everything down to negatives in a timely fashion, focusing on just one aspect of the daily grind you needed to complete. Which, first off, token grinding. Now, this is the most similar activity to BDO where you kind of go around in a circle, but all the mobs aren't super compact. Like, you have to walk really far in order to get to the next quote-unquote pack. You also have these scrolls that you can pop during your grind, so there are specific mobs that you need to get. And this task was a bit boring to do, second only to contracts. While yes, you got a lot of stuff with the tokens, with the contracts, trying to constantly teleport to places, trying to find mobs that other people are also farming. If you have a gatherable quest, sometimes there's no gatherable things around you and you're just wandering around the area trying to find the last herb to complete your contract, to start another contract, and at times, it would just be very painful to do. Now, from the 3 real dailies, which is dungeons, contracts, and tokens, the most enjoyable one for me is probably the dungeons. Right now, we only need to run 1 1-star dungeon and 2 2-star dungeons, which in T2, hopefully, we'll only need to do 1 run of each. The best thing about these dungeons is that sometimes I can just fully carry the group, like from 30% of the boss down to 0. Unlike Lost Ark, where they have raids in which sometimes if a single person messes up, the entire raid group dies. In TNL, it's a lot more forgiving, and it feels better that I can finish to the dungeon rather than having to restart all the way from the beginning of the fight because one person didn't burrow, or burrowed too early, or maybe they forgot to roll out of the way of the boss, or something like that. And for Dimensional Trials, yeah, I just didn't even try for it, man. I just can't be bothered. After spending about 5 hours in a learner party just trying to figure out one of the Dimensional Trials, I just simply don't want to do it. If maybe the mini bosses that we progressed towards the boss gave ruins or some kind of reward, I'd probably feel a bit better and more enticed to do it, but you just don't get anything currently, and it just feels really bad, especially that first introduction for me trying to do it. So I didn't do it, but I still have level 60 ruins, so it's fine. The addition of ruins being added to events helped a lot, in addition for them adding it to the shops, to the battle passes, and the various events that they had for holidays and stuff. And their holidays events are actually not that bad. Except for the one event where you had to win 7 times in a snowball fight in order to get the max rewards. You know, that right there, that was just bad. I just could not. It took me so long just to get to 3 wins, and then they're telling me I need to get another 4 more. Yeah, no. Gearing wise, I think there's a good diversity in the amount of equipment and the amount of customization that you're able to put into your build. There are so many quote unquote chefs cooking builds right now for tier 2, which is the same thing of what happened with tier 1. There's a fun dynamic of trying to gauge whether I should go endurance, whether I should go evasion. If people like having a lot of collision chance, or if they want to resist it completely, they can customize their own build to suit however they want to play a game, and I think that's fantastic. One of the most punishing things that you can do in game was to spec into the wrong build or to build a gear that you're not going to use because you have dedicated so much resources into making your own build. Trying to switch off of that to another one just requires so much time and effort and lucent that it often puts you far behind other people that had their build and had it correct. Luckily, with tier 2, they're doing a tag system which alleviates some of the stress when it comes to switching builds to match the meta or trying out different playstyles. Same thing with mastery grinding. If you were playing SNSGS from the beginning like I have and still playing it, you probably maxed it and are leveling up other weapons. But for those people who started out with a weapon and decided they wanted something else, it would be very punishing for them. But with tier 2, we're getting mastery transfers, so hopefully everything that we've been complaining about regarding how hard it is to switch builds from gearing to mastery is going to be fixed with tier 2. Now let's talk about the PvP side of TNL. When it comes to what differentiates Throne and Liberty from other games like BDO or Lost Ark, it's the sheer massing of players at a single event and the frequency of it. From activities like Lantern Seed Festival, conflict bosses, arch bosses, siege, rift, and boonstones, there's just so much grouping of players that you're just constantly around people, and that makes the game feel alive. Even though we're apparently very down bad, it's fine, nothing to see here. I personally started on Chernobog. Then I went to Zeroth, which at the time was the most competitive server, and now I'm on Ivory, which is let's just say it's a lot. So there's just a constant fight going on either at events, nighttime at Island or Crypts, or in World Chat. But by far the most fun I've had at PvP are at Rift and Boonstones, and at Siege. Going over strategies with the guild, talking about what we're going to do as a party with the 5 homies, setting feud lists, going over a checklist of what to do, like do you have your Guardian? Do you have your Stellarite? Do you have food? Do you have the right remedy? Do you have the right skill set? Serves to make every fight we take just a bit more hype. And it's even better if the guild that we're fighting is on the same footing and we're just going back and forth rather than just having complete stop. And for Siege, well, let's just say we have some clips.
Look at your vortex and flash waves on top of the throne in 3, 2, 1. Vortex and flash waves now. Vortex and flash waves now. Grab the lead if you can now.
Just get buy a little bit of space. Just don't go too far. Just go past the punch goal. You need to be fighting in range where your range should get some help.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're also nerfing Nirma, so clips like this won't exist no more, but hey, just in time for tier 2 to come out. When it comes to tab targeting, it still feels very clunky, especially when compared to a game like BDO. Target selection and where certain moves go whenever I have my mouse somewhere are some of the things that I personally don't like, but they did promise changes in tier 2, so pretty much all of these concerns is wait for tier 2 and hope that they fix it. Now there's a lot of things I could talk about TNL, but I think I covered the base things that I wanted to at least have in this video. Overall, I think TNL is a great game. I feel like it's better than Lost Ark, but I would still place it currently below BDO. BDO has over a decade of patches, reworks, content updates that TNL currently just can't match. But I have hope for the development team by how they've responded to feedback and the response time to our concerns. So, to end it off, to all my reassembled homies, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to continue playing into tier 2 with my current guild, and I hope to see you guys all in Talandre. You can check me out at twitch.tv redcamperbt or join my Discord link down below. I'm new to this whole streaming and video editing thing, so I hope you guys can show some support. Subscribe and comment your experience with TNL, good or bad, I've seen it all. And I'll see you on the battlefield, and remember, keep warm.